Oh, hey. I just kind of popped right in. Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta fix all the askew items.
Yeah, I was just kind of doing Wonder Trade. It's Wonder Trade Wednesday.
It's Wonder Trade Wednesday?
Yes, it is.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, what's that over there? Oh my gosh, we're on camera.
Hi.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the Media Bros Show. How's it going? You know, actually, when I was talking, fun fact before we start anything today.
Yeah.
My cousin was asking me about the show.
Okay.
And he was like, "Oh man, cool! You do a show on YouTube?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, he's like, "Where can I find it?" I was like, "Media Bros." The way I described us was like a nerdy version of Wayne's World.
Huh.
If you think about it, we're like just two dudes in a basement, just chilling, talking about nerdy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That
We're like the nerdy version of Wayne's World.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us again. So, I'm just gonna be blunt about this.
Yeah.
We did have a show for you last week, but unfortunately, with like all my editing skills, we only had like 40 minutes of content. Like, well, like 30 to 40 minutes of content, more like. And I just felt like that wasn't appropriate for you guys for a show, and I didn't want to disappoint any of our fans or anything like that.
And plus the fact, we're all trying to have fun here, and a lot of the stuff that went on,
we had like an after party show last week.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean,
it was bad.
I felt uncomfortable.
I mean,
I never feel uncomfortable.
Did you feel moist?
Oh God! No!
I felt very moist. Moist.
No. Sure.
Saying it in slow motion sounds so much better. I'm gonna get a cow and raise it and teach it to say moist.
God.
It's gonna be out in the field. You're like, oh, Dan, you got a cow. Yeah, cool. Scott, go check it out. Go pet it. Moist. You're like, does your cow say moist? Ugh. Its tongue is huge. Oh God. Moist. Oh God, Dan. Why? Why?
You make me cry and laugh so damn hard.
Why not?
Pokemon reference.
Oh, and I also wanted to mention this before we go off onto our next thing, which we didn't really get to tell anybody. Mm-hmm. We are actually official YouTube partners. We actually get like sponsored by YouTube and everything, so YouTube wanted us to join in, and I was very excited, and I didn't get to share that with you guys. It's really cool. It actually happened after episode 3, I think.
Was that the terrible one? That was really good graphics?
Yes. That was the terrible one with amazing graphics.
Star Wars reference.
Star Wars reference. Yeah, no, I was excited to tell everybody, and I didn't get a chance to, but we get to do this like as like a job, as like a side job now.
I don't know about side job. I mean, we gotta get more views. And
we gotta get more views. We gotta get more people out there. So
that's up to you guys. I mean, if you can find anybody that would like our channel, then by all means.
Please spread the word. This is so important to us. It's really important to me.
Yeah, I mean, we have fun doing it. Don't get us wrong. It's just...
This is fun, but we want to see this show go to the next level.
Dan wants to get into the movie business, as far as I know.
I want to do my own like film type stuff, yes.
And... yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind it either. I love my job now and all that stuff too, but... just for a side thing, this is great. It's always something to look forward to.
Tell you what, if we can get more views, I'll tell people an idea that I have for a show that I want to do.
Sure. That's fair.
I'll give you a hint right now. It involves time travel.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
It's actually more or less really coming together, and I'm very excited about it. So
I feel bad. We're trolling you guys.
I know, we're trolling so hard. Oh, man.
I guess to kind of just piece that in, we talked about this, 4 maybe years ago? 3 or 4 years ago, something like that?
About maybe a couple of years ago or something like that.
Yeah, it feels like longer, but
It's been a lingering idea in my head,
Yeah.
But it's the more I think about it and the more I put it down on paper,
Yeah.
that, like, just making it a little bit more ridiculous, it's it's just coming together so well, and I think it could be an amazing thing.
The mouse pointers on the screen. Get it out there.
Yeah, it's kind of askew.
Yeah.
Oh no, the T. Oh, there we go.
Got it.
Got it.
And one more flash.
Got him!
Jesus.
These nuts?
I moved back.
It's okay.
Yeah, alright, I tried.
Nobody can see the little mouse pointer there. They're too focused on the fact that
It's so awesome.
this kid from Gold is gonna fight the guy who's gonna fight Red right now.
Yeah, it looks fine.
You know what, funny enough, speaking about that, my favorite starter is right there. I love Typhlosion.
Yeah.
I actually like Typhlosion more than the original 3 starters. Blastoise is actually one of my favorite. If I have anything, I actually pick Blastoise over Charizard.
Yeah.
I love me some Blastoids.
I mean, the whole Charizard X and Y versions, it's cool, but yeah, Blastoise is awesome.
Blastoise is super awesome.
Yeah.
I love me some Blastoise. He's got a freaking giant tank with his Mega Form.
Oh, I know.
It's a giant... Like, I'm sorry. I don't know why... I'm not trying to trash Nintendo right now. I'm letting him be. But...
Yeah.
Just being Nintendo, if I made that design...
Yeah.
Why would not my first thing to be to animate it so that when he does an Hydro Pump or freaking Hydro Cannon...
Yeah.
Why is his first thing not to go down on all fours, load up the cannon, and then just shoot it at you?
Jeez, yeah.
Can you imagine that? How terrifying that would be?
Yeah.
Just freaking Blastoise coming down and like, and you just see it and you're just kind of like, oh god.
Especially it's got the other guns on its wrists too. That's pretty awesome.
Like it could even be like, and just get the side wrist.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
that would be so amazing.
If they ever port that to like Wii U or something like that, they definitely got to include better animations.
Yes.
I mean, some of the move ones are really, really cool now, but...
I love me some Blastoise.
Yeah.
I also love me some Typhlosion, and I want a Mega Form for my Typhlosion.
Oh, that would be cool, yeah.
You know, speaking of where he had just passed away, and he was the main contributor behind Gold and Silver.
Right, yeah.
Don't you think we deserve a Gold and Silver remake?
Well, I mean, technically
3D.
Yeah. If they took Heart Gold, you know, revamped it, brought it up, and then they gave it to us, that would be amazing.
I mean, Satoru was a main genius behind all
Yeah.
of that. He compressed it so much to the fact that we got another region.
Yeah.
We got another region in that game. No other games have other regions.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
They're only one region.
Yeah, yeah.
He gave us 2 in one game. He said, you know what? Go to Johto and then come back to Kanto. I know. It was the best game in the series.
Like, I just started playing Heart Gold again, and I forgot how awesome it is to see Professor Oak. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, Professor Oak, don't touch my mom.
What?
That's the running joke.
Oh, I know.
I'm sorry, who doesn't know that Professor Oak is having sex with Ash's mom? It's like everywhere.
Yeah.
You know Mr. Mime is involved somehow, too.
Oh, God. No.
It makes everything moist.
Yeah. No.
That was a big nerdy laugh. Oh, boy. Okay, so where we're starting off for gaming...
Yeah. Actually, to continue Pokemon, though, I think it is the 24th, so Friday. Another Deontay event is actually going to happen, so that's going to be pretty sweet. I missed out on mine, and I think all you do is just go to the Nintendo Wi-Fi thing, or like in the mystery gift.
It's like a mystery gift over there.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
When is that going to be happening?
The 24th, and depending on our editing issues, you know, we'll put it up on the Facebook page as well.
The 24th. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll put it up on Facebook.
Yeah, actually,
Just in case.
I'll look it up. I want to just make sure. It's 24th, I think the 27th?
Japan's getting another Hoopa event.
I actually have 5 Hoopas now.
You have 5 Hoopas?
I have 5 Hoopas. I got them all
I
from...
get one?
Yeah.
I want a Hoopa.
Yeah, sure.
You get a Hoopa, you get a Hoopa, you get a Hoopa! Hoopa for days!
My boss has an action replay, so he cloned like 3 of them, but I got 2 of them from a stream. I think it was Oslov or something like that.
Oh, huh.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. It actually, a funny story about that, too. I got the Hoopa first, and, you know, you can put the little tagline in your status and all that. Well, mine was banana tacos.
Banana
So,
tacos.
I'm listening to this, I'm like, oh yeah, I get to see myself on stream. You're like, banana tacos, what is that? So I was like, okay, yeah, a little funny laugh. And then I got a Frostlass from him. Like, oh my gosh, banana tacos! I know that guy.
Banana tacos. Banana. You know, with all like this Deontay event and everyone getting a Hoopa and everything.
Yeah.
When are we gonna get Volcanion?
Same. I think probably same day as the Hoopa event, or
Really?
close to it, because I actually have a Volcanion recorded in my Pokedex too.
I want Volcanion.
Yeah, Volcanion I think looks better than Hoopa, except for the Unbound form. But
Yeah, the Unbound form for Hoopa is fucking beast.
it's so creepy looking.
It is creepy looking. Honestly, I know as a big Pokemon fan as I am.
Yeah.
When I was hearing about this, I was like, I didn't know he had like a different form.
Yeah.
And I looked into it. I was like, how do you go from this to that?
I know.
What? Like, this is like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess I can
it's
do.
It's like that researcher dude in The Mummy, and then it's going to the Scorpion King.
It's kind of like, it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Hoopa looks cool. I mean, I might pick it up. I don't know if I will or not. And then it's like, they show you this other form, and like, well, then why the fuck would I not get it?
Yeah.
Like, that thing looks awesome!
Exactly.
Why wasn't this advertised at first?
Yeah.
Like, guess what, guys? Hoopa just doesn't have one form. He has two forms, and this is his other form. Well, then I'm picking it up.
Yeah.
I don't get why that wasn't, like, your main selling point.
I know.
It's
I mean, not that you probably have to buy Hoopa. It's probably
you
going
don't
to be
have to buy Hoopa.
It's probably going to be one of those cards at GameStop or whatever.
They're usually good about giving away these Pokemon for free.
Yeah. Actually, the one of them that I go to, they have like I talked to the guy and I was like, oh, do you know of any other Pokemon events and all that? He says, oh no, but I have like 50 of those Dragonite cards left over. I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, the Dragonite.
Okay, so the Deontay event is from the 24th to the 27th.
Man, 3 days. You better get on that.
Yeah.
That's limited time.
Yep.
Deontay.
And it only works with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Oh, okay.
So X and Y are out of the running, unfortunately. But I mean, they've been doing that for a while now, since they took over with Ruby and Sapphire.
Do you ever think we're gonna get a Z version?
I heard some rumor about that, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would get it, because X and Y were really good, but I've played the heck out of them, and it's just, I don't know, I don't really need a Z version.
Yeah, I don't need a Z version. Although what needs to improve is the freaking transferring over your Pokemon, and then for some mysterious reason they lose their like Mega Orbs or whatever.
Oh yeah,
that pisses me the fuck off, because then I had to go search for them all over again, and I was like,
yeah, the Pokebank doesn't keep any items; it dumps them.
That's stupid.
It still puts them in your X or Y game, but yeah, you individually have to transfer. Like I did Mewtwo and a couple others. I had to transfer back and forth, take the Mewtwo into Y, put the stone on it, then transfer it back. So I had to trade with myself. It's like, really?
It's stupid.
Yeah.
I think that's dumb.
Yeah, definitely.
I did not like having to search for all those stones again.
Yeah, actually speaking of that, I found the Mewtwo Y right outside of the Pokemon League. It's like, oh, there's a little sparkly thing. Oh, you get a Mega Stone. Okay.
Frieza!
Oh, God.
It looks like Frieza.
I know.
It looks like Frieza.
Wait, is it the Y version or the X version?
Yeah, Y version. The X version is actually like just kind of like standard.
The muscly.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So.
I always get those with mixed stuff for some reason. But, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Wonder Trade Wednesday. Yeah, don't miss out today. Today is Wonder Trade Wednesday.
Yeah.
Don't miss out next week.
Or this week,
Or this week, depending on when the show goes up.
Yeah.
Hopefully my editing skills will be better this week.
Yeah.
And I won't have to edit out
everything.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, well, we're still on gaming.
Yep.
For most of you that don't know, because this was really kind of just quick and sudden, I don't know why it wasn't more, like, talked about. Tremor, the final character from the combat pack, was released.
Yeah, I didn't even see anything about it.
Yeah, no, Tremor was released. He's the final character in the combat pack. He's available in the combat pack this week, and then available for individual purchase next week.
Oh, okay.
So, first impressions, this is the best character to come out of the combat pack.
Nice.
The best character.
Yeah.
I love Predator. I think Jason is cool. Tanya's pretty cool as well. Tremor, I can understand why they saved him for last. He is like a freaking earthbender in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
He is so powerful. It is so awesome. I freaking love him.
So most of his moves are range based, or?
They are range based, but he's also got a good like combo up close as well.
Oh, okay.
So he's powerful.
Yeah.
He's definitely he can throw rocks at you. He'll raise rocks from the ground and like freaking. His X-ray is fucking sweet.
Oh yeah.
He like throws you up, like breaks your back with a rock.
Okay.
You go up into the air, and then as you come back down, smashes you on a rock, and then he lands on you, cracking your neck.
Oh, jeez.
It is dangerous.
Yeah.
His fatalities are also fucking amazing.
Yeah.
He literally gets you. I'm sorry to use Lucario like this, but like you're like trying to like run towards him, he gets one spike here, one spike there, and one spike through the head. And then as you're there, just kind of like twitching, he comes over with his hands turned into rocks, like big giant mallet rocks, and then comes over and smashes your head in.
Jeez.
It is awesome.
Like, I don't get the people that are like, oh, Mortal Kombat 10 is nowhere near as gory as 9 and all that stuff. Like, no.
It is
like
one of the characters' fatalities is pulling your intestines through your mouth.
Yeah, and then
how is that not gory?
And then you got Devora, who rips out your brain and heart and crushes them together. Or she sends, I don't know if it's locusts or whatever, but they devour every bit of flesh on your head and then your skull falls off.
For people...
I don't understand people like, oh, it's not gory. This is grotesque.
For people who think that it's not gory enough, you need to go see a psychologist.
Yeah.
You have some other problems.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, deep down problems.
I mean, it's all, like, obviously a fake game and all that stuff, but it's pretty messed up.
It is really messed up.
Like, I definitely say it's on par with The Evil Within.
Yeah, Evil Within was messed up.
Yeah, I won't even play that game. I watched the first, like, chapter and a half. And
it is, I will tell you this, it is one of the more difficult games out there, and if you have not played it, it's just good for a difficult challenge.
I heard it's sort of like Resident Evil kind of styled, like the way they
Resident
play it.
Evil style, but it also has very, like, a Dark Souls hardness to it.
Okay.
It's not fun, especially the guy who has a safe on his head. Fuck that guy. I'm sorry to use that language, but seriously, fuck that guy.
You kind of used it, like, 20 times already.
I'm sorry. I know. I might be, like, on, like... I know I'm inappropriate right now, but seriously, that guy was so difficult.
Oh, yeah.
It took forever to kill that guy. And he would kill you, like, instantly.
Oh, that sucks.
It was one of those bosses. I mean, it sucks, but at the same time, I appreciate games like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't appreciate games that just throw out amazing graphics and then say, oh, guess what? The game is just stupid lame.
Yeah, like you could just walk through the entire thing.
You could just walk through the entire thing and then kill a boss.
Yeah.
With, like, nothing.
Yeah.
I still haven't picked up Godzilla.
Yeah, I saw that in GameStop the other day. The cover art actually looks kind of cool.
It looks awesome. I wish it was coming out to more systems because it'd be cool, but, like, IGN smashes it. I don't get IGN.
Yeah, well, I mean, they are kind of based on the higher quality games and all that stuff.
But it's like, it doesn't need to have, like, an amazing graphic feel to it. It just needs to be a fun game.
Yeah.
And that looks like a fun game.
Oh, yeah.
You just get to be monsters and just destroy things.
Yeah, like, if they ever made a Voltron game or something, like, way ago to the throwbacks and all that, that would be awesome.
like to have like an old school like '90s fighter type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
With like the old crappy Godzilla versus like Voltron or
Oh, that would be so cool.
the freaking Megazord is in there.
Yeah,
The Dragonzord is in there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be awesome.
Clash of the 90s.
Clash of the 90s. Let's make that a thing. Clash of the 90s.
So awesome.
Let's make that a game. Clash of the 90s.
Yeah.
You could have You could have like the Powerpuff Girls in there.
Oh, the giant like robot suit that they had and all that stuff.
Well, no, I mean you could just have the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah.
They could take on Godzilla. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean that whole story or that whole series rather. It's just fighting giant monsters.
You could have Dexter in like a giant robotic suit.
Oh yeah, he has the Dexter suit or whatever the heck it is. Yeah,
the one they used for like dodgeball and stuff.
Oh my god, that was a great episode.
Gosh, there needs to be more games like that. I know there was a fighting game that had like Cartoon Network fighters.
Yeah, I think Nickelodeon did one as well.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah, we definitely gotta devote a show though, just to go like the throwbacks and everything. That would be so fun.
Throwbacks. While we're still on gaming, they did just put out like a demo trailer for No Man's Sky.
Oh right, yeah.
This is the game where you like explore and you like find different species, you catalog them and everything. I was reading.
Jeez, that sounds familiar. It sounds like Pokemon.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I was reading into it.
Yeah.
They said the developers of this game said it would take you 1 billion years to complete this whole game.
What?
Because you literally, they have so many planets and everything in there.
Oh, okay.
You could just keep traveling. It's literally like a universal game. You can literally just travel through in space, and it would take you forever to catalog every tiny little thing.
So it's like a sandbox game if the sandbox game was like...
expanded to the universe.
Like giant, and you're Ant-Man sized.
Yes. Literally.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
I was like, when I first heard that, I said, you know what? I'm picking up this game now.
Yeah, I definitely think that would
That
be
is
fun.
an interesting concept to me, the fact that I can never beat this game.
Yeah.
You can never beat it.
We know Mitch would never play it.
Yeah, Mitch would get so frustrated. He'd be like, I just want the achievements. It's going to take you billions of years to get to complete the game. I'll survive. Mitch will be like one of those like Futurama heads in a like glass jar. And he has this,
playing the game.
He has like a Richard Nixon body. And he's playing the game still.
Oh, jeez, that would be great.
He'll be like the first one to complete it. No, but I love the fact that it takes you. The fact that the game is you can't beat it.
Yeah.
That is interesting to me, and the fact that you can just leave a planet and just go into space and just go wherever you want.
That is great.
That sounds like an awesome game.
Yeah.
How long did it take them to develop this?
I can't imagine. I mean, if it's unbeatable, then how long does it take to design it?
But it is slated for this year.
Huh.
It's slated to be released this year, and they have not changed their minds on that at all. So, be looking out for No Man's Sky.
Yeah. Continuing on gaming, did we mention ukulele at all?
We started to mention it last week, but then we had to cut it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, we mentioned it a couple weeks ago. It was in the show a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ukulele's still out there.
Yeah, I'm still looking forward to that.
That's going to be an amazing game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm looking forward to? Just Cause 3.
Oh, yes, we watched the trailer for that.
They put out a trailer demo for Just Cause 3. That looks amazing.
It's like... it's like open world.
It's an open world sandbox.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you can literally do anything. Like,
he literally took a fighter jet, stealing it just to jump out to blow something up.
yeah, he basically like the announcer or whatever they say. You can steal it and use it as a giant bullet. So it's like, yeah, why not?
Why not? Just Cause.
Exactly.
I hope that they release Just Cause 2 soon, because I would like a re-release of that.
Oh, that would be cool, yeah.
I would love to play Just Cause 2 to get myself in the spirit of Just Cause 3.
Yeah.
Oh, big thing yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
I know if Mitch was here, he'd just be rubbing this in my face right now. And you know what? He can, because I'm not even going to be jealous.
Okay.
Xbox One
Yeah.
is getting Star Wars Battlefront first.
Oh.
Because of EA Access.
Oh, that's right.
Sony didn't want anything to do with EA Access.
Yeah.
But now that the game is developed by EA, it's going to be out a week earlier for Xbox One users.
Yeah. So that means physical copy as well, or?
I don't know about a physical copy.
Oh, okay.
I just know that Xbox One users are going to get it first.
I mean, I know it gets stored on your cloud account or whatever, but I just like getting a physical copy of the game.
I will be there day one. Actually, I will be there probably midnight release for Star Wars Battlefront. I want my physical copy.
Let's hope I don't get locked out of my house then.
Yes. And, small info. I got a new job.
Yeah.
I got a new job, so now I will have more time on my hands. More times. I'll have more times on my hands. And we'll be able to
stretchy.
I'll be able to have more time to do stuff at night and everything. So I am very excited. So like midnight releases, I won't be getting out at 11:59 to come meet you for the midnight release.
Yeah.
I will be there early.
Well, what's your schedule is posted as, like 5 or something like that?
The latest I will ever be working on any day is 5 o'clock.
Sweet, so we can actually hang out before that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The latest I'll be working. And, get this, I get my own desk and everything.
Oh, nice.
I get my own desk and my own computer, and they're actually moving us to another building with windows. So, everyone today was like, I was like, I'm moving into a new building today, and I get to have windows.
Don't get them.
They're like, why would it matter if you have windows or not? I was like, so I could look outside? You're like, why would you want to look? I was like, because I don't want to be stuck in an office building with fluorescent lighting, hating myself after a while.
Yeah, I don't do too well with fluorescent lights sometimes. I mean,
like, it's just like beating down on you, like typing away, and you're just like,
yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm very excited about that. So I'll have more time for midnight releases, and we'll be able to actually like do cool like videos and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
So we could be like, oh, hey guys, we're driving to GameStop, and then we're in GameStop, and now we're leaving GameStop.
We're interviewing people at GameStop.
Oh, that would be fun, yeah.
How do you guys feel about Star Wars Battlefront?
I don't know.
Well, see, I'm an Xbox One user, and I have EA Access, so I had it a week earlier. And what are you doing here? Well, I mean, I want to pick up a physical copy. Okay, so then who cares? I could see that person being that way.
Yeah, I could see that one guy doing that too. You know?
I could see that one guy be like, well, I had it a week early.
I had it before, it was cool.
Oh, I know IGN is going to have this a week early, and they're just going to, hopefully, to God, they don't trash the game.
They just rip it to shreds.
4.7, too many lasers. What? 7.8 out of 10, too much water. Really?
That was only for Sapphire, though.
I saw that on the comments for when they trashed Godzilla.
Yeah.
And people were actually like, dude, that joke is dead. That joke will never die.
No.
Ever.
No.
They literally gave a game a lower score because it had too much water.
Yeah.
And its main whole system was that it's supposed to be a lot of water.
And the whole fact that, you know, they went through, I don't know what town it was in the game, and they're like, oh, there's a lake here, there's a stream here, this is too much water, we don't want it. And they're like, all they were catching is water types. Oh, really? Because you're in a lake. Do you expect a rock type to be swimming in a lake? It would probably die.
I expect Volcanion to be swimming in a lake.
Actually, it can survive because it's water fire type.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be terrifying. Can you imagine? Here's my double team proposal.
Okay.
Volcanion
Yeah.
and Mega Altaria. Water, fire, and dragon fairy type.
Oh, jeez.
Have fun.
The first thing I'm going to do with Volcanion is teach it surf.
Oh my gosh, a fire type that can surf!
I really hope they'll allow it.
They probably will.
Yeah.
They probably will. That would be scary fighting. That would be like OP fighting.
Like, a fire type surfing in, doing flamethrower or something. Like, oh god, what the heck?
I wish you could teach a Pokemon Sharknado.
It has to be a Sharpedo.
Sharpedo should be able to learn Sharknado.
Yes.
And have a tornado filled with little tiny sharks in it. That would be amazing.
Oh,
Get on this, Nintendo.
Yeah. Pair up with whoever did it,
Pair
Comedy
up
Central
with whoever.
No, not Comedy Central. They actually do
Sci-fi.
good things. Sci-fi.
Sci-fi.
Yeah. It should be on Comedy Central, but you know.
I mean, sci-fi movies are comedy itself, so.
True.
Is there anything
Speaking of
else
which,
gaming-wise that you...
yeah, gaming-wise, oh, one of my friends got, Pokemon Art Academy. It seems like it's pretty fun, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's all digital drawing, you know, you draw Pokemon. It just seems cool. You know, it's like one of those things, like, when you're bored of another game, it's like, oh, I'm going to play some drawing games and all that.
I'm never going to be bored. I'm going to be playing with Tremor for a while.
Yeah, it's sort of like,
and I still have to beat Batman. I'm still getting some Riddler trophies.
What the heck was it, what was that, Facebook game? It was like, Draw Something, I think it was called, or something?
Yeah, Draw Something.
Yeah, that. It's like that, but Pokemon.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it retails for like $30, so maybe wait for it to drop. I think that one, since it's a third-party Pokemon game, it'll drop, but...
I'm waiting for Godzilla to drop.
Yeah.
That's going to be amazing. I can't wait to play. I'm still excited.
Mm.
But I want to play No Man's Sky first.
Yeah.
That game, I just want to play it. It's so cool. It's
Yeah.
so cool. Alright, so let's switch over.
Yeah, sure.
What do you want to switch over to?
I don't know, what was the most news movie-wise, probably?
Oh, well, we'll get on to movies, because we didn't really get to have our reaction to the trailers and everything from Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't really get to have those. And, but TV-wise, first of all, they just released the first picture as John Bernthal as the Punisher.
Oh,
They
yeah.
They have pictures of him on set. He looks cool.
Yeah.
I was already excited. I'm like, wow, they're already filming this thing? I'm all in for Daredevil Season 2.
Yeah.
Although, I'm still telling you, I still want my Iron Fist movie.
Speaking of TV, do you watch Bar Rescue at all?
No.
No. Well, I don't know, you said all in, and it reminded me of this episode of Bar Rescue, because the owner, he just completely, like, the whole, I don't know, probably first half of this episode, he just says, oh, I'm all in. All in, man. I'm all in. I'm like, oh, God.
All in. All in, man.
Like, yeah. Like, I think his name is John Taffer. He should definitely be the president.
He should be the president?
You should watch a couple episodes of Bar Rescue. You can see what I mean. He's like... He's so in your face. It's just great.
Do we know if there's going to be another candidate for president?
Honestly, I haven't really been keeping up after Donald Trump's crazy stuff.
Honestly, if my choices are between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, I might have to leave the country.
Yeah.
But then if I leave the country, I might die because they might bomb the country by my mistake. Donald Trump, Europe's not making enough money.
What?
You're fired.
Oh.
Oh, God! Yes!
The "you're fired" button, it shoots missiles. What?
No, the "you're fired" button firebombs the city. I could see Donald Trump like 5 seconds before the bombing starts in London, and I could see him just popping on the TV, and everyone's like, yeah, and he could just be there, and he's like, you're fired.
So Donald Trump all of a sudden becomes the leader of the Covenant, starting glassing the U.S., like, the world?
He becomes our new dictator, Trump.
Wow.
Sorry, where else is this country gonna go?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really want to get into politics on this show, but...
Yeah, it's not politic bros, it's media bros.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just...
I
don't think I could take Trump seriously. It's just like... It's like Vince Vaughn in True Detective. It's like... He's I know I told you about this. Like, he's got so many comedy roles that... I don't know, he just doesn't seem like he can do a serious role.
I still haven't caught up with that. I want to though.
Yeah, I would definitely
True
recommend it.
Detective season 2. I loved the first one.
Oh, the first one.
First season was amazing.
The second season, it gets like really depressing really fast. But
Depression.
Yeah.
Flash season 2 as well. That's been making a lot of news.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for Flash. I love the Flash TV show.
Yeah.
I mean, Green Arrow to me has kind of fell off the map a little bit. The Flash is nice, fresh, and cool and
I haven't
everything.
really heard much about Green Arrow. I mean, in terms of like excitement factor and all that.
I mean, what was it the other day? Also, when I saw like Deathstroke as a pop vinyl.
Oh yeah.
Actually, no, this was a couple days ago. Who was it? Mike, my buddy Mike from work.
Yeah.
He came in and he showed me, and I was like, he's like, I didn't even know Deathstroke was in Arrow. I was like,
oh.
Yeah, Deathstroke was actually in the Arrow TV show.
Huh.
Nobody unless hardcore fans really knew.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I know you mentioned the pop vinyl. When we were in Connecticut, we were looking at a bunch of them.
But yeah, I was like, yeah, Deathstroke. He doesn't get as much fame as he should right now.
I think honestly, he got more fame when he was Slade in Teen Titans.
Slade.
Such a badass name.
Slade.
I mean, obviously, like
Deathstroke.
Yeah, they can't say that in that series. I think we touched on that before, but yeah. I mean, whatever you call him, he's still pretty awesome.
Yeah, he is. But I'm very excited for Flash season 2. And this is gonna be crazy because they're bringing like the multiverse and everything, like the different timelines of Flash.
Yeah.
And the different Earths. Like this show is gonna get crazy confusing, but it's gonna be so much fun.
So it's kind of like Lost, but superheroes.
Yes, and everybody is alive.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have a personal beef for that show.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. It's one of my favorites. One of my friends is watching it, so we can't really. I think he probably killed it for him if he watches this episode.
Did I kill it for him? Really?
But yeah, I mean, he's I think in season 4 or 5, something like that. So.
Man, I want to in the worst way. I want to just because I want him to be able to find another show.
But he likes it so much.
Yes, and I loved it so much until the end.
Right. Well, yeah.
And then I became frustrated and never wanted to see that show ever again.
Yeah, but I mean, the acting was so good in the show and everything.
It was good.
So.
I'm just saying, I got frustrated. Oh my gosh! That reminds me.
What?
The Strain came back on.
Oh, yeah,
The Guillermo del Toro vampire show.
Yeah.
Season 2 started. It's 2 episodes in.
Oh, nice. Nice.
All the first season is up on demand.
Oh, okay, cool.
So anybody who wants to watch The Strain, I recommend it. It is awesome.
Yeah.
It is scary, but it is cool. Second season is getting weird, but I'm so intrigued. Like, the vampires are really starting to rise, and I'm just like, oh boy, this is getting good. I don't want to spoil anything, but you guys need to check it out, because I'm going to go on a full spoiler rampage.
Yeah, I'm caught up to that season. Now I just got to start watching it again.
Start watching season 2. It is really good. The episodes are more than an hour long.
Oh, wow.
It is...
What channel is that on, anyway?
FX.
Oh, it's more than an hour and it's on FX?
Yes.
Huh.
It is a great show.
Yeah.
Also, well, actually, no, this will be a good switch over.
Okay.
I guess, to movies.
Yeah.
They said, sooner than later, Pacific Rim 2 will probably start filming.
Right, yeah.
I just heard this yesterday, so I was actually pretty excited because I thought Pacific Rim 1 to me, I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was really cool for the concept, like monsters versus robots versus giant monsters.
Yeah.
Like, that was a simple premise, and I liked the way that they executed it. I'm interested, though, in seeing how they're going to do a second movie.
Yeah, because, I mean, they pretty much destroyed the ringleaders.
Full spoilers if you haven't seen Pacific Rim. They destroyed the creators of the monsters.
Yeah.
They blew them up.
Yeah. Actually, are they creators, or are they just kind of like, hey, we found these things and
no,
we're gonna use them?
they're the creators.
Oh,
they're the
okay.
scientists behind it.
Oh, all right.
They blew them up. They blew up that whole
Well, yeah, I know they blew them up, but I just didn't know if they were like the creators or they just stumbled upon these things and like, oh, let's send them to Earth.
No, I'm pretty sure they were the creators.
I think the biggest thing I enjoyed about that movie was the fact that, it started off, oh, Earth is prepared, and then everything just kind of starts to crumble, and then they start losing, and then they're like, crap, we have nothing left, let's just toss these ones together that we have left and fight them.
Yeah, plus, how are they gonna, are they gonna build more robots, or?
Which, I mean, it's simple to do if they can.
I mean, those are giant robots. I loved the concept of those people building all the robots together.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, the fact that they had, a shit ton of factory workers working on these giant, massive robots.
Yeah, yeah.
That are simply just controlled by 2 people.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Ugh,
and then the whole idea, obviously, it's the mind link thing. That was really cool.
The mind link. Yeah, the fact that your minds really have to, mesh together to be able to function a robot.
And the fact that the AI was clearly GLaDOS' voice from, or GLaDOS, rather.
GLaDOS.
From Portal.
Portal.
Yeah.
Portals. That's gonna be cool. Real quick, that's gonna be cool in LEGO Dimensions.
Oh, yeah.
Portal is actually gonna be in LEGO's Dimensions.
Yeah.
It'll be cool seeing LEGO characters.
But there's no Portal 3. I'm sad.
Okay, back on the movies,
Yeah.
We talked about this a little bit last week, but we couldn't put out the episode. Comic-Con released a bunch of trailers.
Yep.
We'll start with the smaller ones, and then we'll lead up to the last one being Batman vs. Superman, because I think
that's probably going to be the big one of the year.
That's probably going to be the big one of next year. And then we'll lead into other stuff, because we also have another thing that we want to do.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's start off with... Actually, we'll do this my way, because I didn't get to talk about this. Okay. We'll start off with Star Wars.
Yeah,
they didn't release the trailer, but they released a behind-the-scenes footage.
Right.
Which in itself was pretty much a trailer.
Yeah, so the whole thing behind that was they said they were kind of minimizing the CGI usage and trying to do more practical effects. Is that right?
Yes, they showed footage of them actually having a big tunnel with characters walking down it.
Oh, okay.
So the fact that that there's just watching this and all the suits that they use and all the alien designs and everything.
Yeah.
I'm getting nervous because I feel like this movie could be too good already.
Oh, okay.
I mean, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I feel like this movie is just hyping up so much that I can't contain it anymore.
Yeah.
I need to see Star Wars.
Yeah.
I need to see it.
I mean, I guess I really like the fact that they're going back to all that kind of effects and stuff, because, I mean, I've seen a bunch of behind the scenes for episode 4, 5, and 6 where, they took a microphone, they put it up to a bracer wire, and they hit it with a metal pole, and that's how they got the sound for the rifles. And then obviously they took the flash for the old camera, and that's your lightsaber. They stuck some windshield wiper blades on it, and oh, this looks cool. It looks like the hilt of a sword, and they gotta bring that back. Just pick up some random stuff at the dump or whatever, and make new things out of it. That'd be cool.
What was I gonna say? Just the fact that they made everything look so good.
Yeah.
I know people have this thing about J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
With lens flares and everything.
Yeah.
But the footage that I've seen, this is just gonna be so amazing.
So you mean it's not just a white screen and people talking?
You know what?
I know.
I'm sorry. Let's give the guy some credit.
Yeah.
He is probably one of the best directors going right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me just go over some of his track record. Remember Mission Impossible 2?
Yep.
That was probably the worst one. J.J. Abrams did Mission Impossible 3.
Right.
And pretty much rejuvenated that series.
It was, did he also do Ghost Protocol?
No, that was Brad Bird.
Oh,
the guy who did the Incredibles movie.
Right.
So, but we're not talking about Brad Bird. But J.J. brought back
Yeah.
Mission Impossible.
Hmm.
And probably had one of the best villains in the Mission Impossible series.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
With Philip Seymour Hoffman. He was one of the coolest villains. He was a little weird, but he was one of the coolest villains.
Yeah. And
Start.
actually, just kind of toss that in about Mission Impossible. When we went to the movies last weekend or whatever it was, that Mission Impossible trailer was amazing.
Oh, the fact that they were showing their real stunt and everything.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, I know Tom Cruise does all of his real stunts and everything, but that's terrifying.
The fact that he was hooked onto the side of a plane.
Yeah.
And the fact that he felt the G-force just like instantly. And then he stayed on that plane for a while.
Oh, yeah.
They flew him around.
Yep.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise it's hard to imagine he's over 50.
I know.
He's freaking old. But
he's like Shatner. He's like signed a deal with the devil to keep his youth.
I mean, he doesn't even look that young.
No,
he doesn't look that old.
Yeah, exactly.
He's Scientology, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Scientologists are everywhere.
Yeah, we're really getting off track with that, but
so JJ brought back Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
I know he had some also other side movies.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm sorry. I'm gonna look this up. Real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna look this up for everybody at home.
I mean, the most notable Star Trek, obviously.
He rejuvenated Star Trek.
He did it in a fantastic way. I mean, I'm a huge Trekkie, and I really liked it. I mean, it's not going to be the same as the old ones and all that, like Next Generation, the original series, Deep Space Nine, all that. But those are gems in themselves, like the movies that went along with them and everything. But I feel like he did it the right way. Although Kirk did kind of get his ass handed to him in the first movie.
He did also have some help on Ghost Protocol and as well as a new movie coming out, Rogue Nation.
Oh, okay.
So there was some help on there. Oh. He also had some help on Armageddon.
Yep.
The Bruce Willis movie. He also had some help on Cloverfield.
Oh.
You know what? That brings up a good question. That was an underrated movie.
It really was, and probably one of my favorites for
people
the
were like, I didn't like it because of the camera and everything. I'm sorry. That was actually like a very scary take on it.
Yeah.
Like seeing the perspective like from this camera, watching this monster go through the city.
Yeah.
He also had some help on Fringe, the TV show.
Yeah.
He did Super 8, and he was also in charge of Lost.
Oh, your favorite.
Sorry, JJ. I just Lost was.
Yeah. Speaking of Cloverfield, I remember the whole. Oh well, the Cloverfield monster's gonna look like this, and it was like 50 different concept art per day. And then when they finally see it, like, oh my god, that is terrifying.
But yeah, that being said, he rejuvenated Star Trek.
Yeah.
He not only made one good movie, he made 2 great movies.
Yeah.
They were phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
The second one I love. I know people are gonna hate me for this, but I love more than the first. The first one was good, but when I was in the theaters, I love being surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, I read about everything nowadays, but at some point, I like being surprised. And when I was in the theater, and freaking Benedict Cumberbatch says, "My name is Khan," I was like,
yeah.
Khan! I wanted to be like, Khan! I was surprised, and I was like, oh my god, this movie just became 10 times better.
Did it become 20% cooler?
20% cooler. Yes, I know.
I still really like the fact that Leonard Nimoy made appearances. That was really cool.
And the fact that he was older Spock.
Yeah.
He literally got that whole Star Trek universe that you knew as a kid was literally just like erased.
Yeah.
And it's a whole new universe.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that, and he did that, and it was ballsy, but he made it work.
Yeah.
And the fact that this older Spock is giving all of them advice and everything, that was one of my favorite parts in the movie.
I mean,
in Star Trek Into Darkness, when he was saying, "Don't hesitate,
Yeah.
Just kill him.
Mm.
I love that.
Yeah.
Even Spock was like, now listen to me. Khan is very manipulative and very dangerous.
Yeah.
He will not hesitate to kill you, and he will not hesitate to kill the ones you love.
Yeah.
So you need to take him and you need to kill him.
Yeah.
Do not hesitate.
I mean, obviously everyone's kind of on board with me, but I still miss Leonard Nimoy. He was such a great actor, and it just seems like he was an awesome guy in general.
He'll be missed in
Yeah.
Star Trek 3.
Yeah.
But that being said, I'm so excited that he's taking over Star Wars. And even in the video, the behind the scenes, he was like, we're on the set for Star Wars Episode 7. How cool is that?
Yeah, yeah.
That, I mean, even Mark Hamill, he said it so well. You've been here before, but you haven't been. I was just like, okay, I'm on board. I'm like ready to just throw like money for like 500 tickets because I'm gonna plan on seeing this more and more and more and more.
But Hamill got so old.
He's gonna play like
a
boss freaking Jedi.
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay, so
no, I'm just kind of bridging it from I think it was like episode 1 or 2 of our show.
I know.
But
that being said, full like spoilers if need be.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker in this movie is gonna be like what Darth Vader could have been if he stayed on the good side.
Yeah, yeah.
Now he's old and he's like, imagine Yoda, but like 10 times more powerful.
Yeah, he basically mastered every tidbit of the Force that's out there.
Every single bit. He's literally the most powerful Jedi out there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you can't go into the Dark Force and all that stuff and all that, but for what the Jedi stand for, he's pretty much got it nailed down.
He literally, he's the master Jedi.
Yeah.
And if he wanted to at any point, could just start laughing as the Joker, and I would still be in love.
I'm sorry, not Dark Force, I realize I messed that up. The Dark Side.
The dark side.
Yeah.
I'm not killing you. I'm not...
You're not force choking me?
I'm not force choking you. These are not the droids you're looking for.
Oh.
I would have loved if that was an extra.
Yeah, I know. The one stormtrooper, I think it was in episode 6 or something like that, where they're all going through the door and he just rails his head on the door. I can't believe they actually kept that. That was so great.
I was actually also, I just saw, they also had the trailer that everyone has seen when we went to the movies.
Yeah, yeah.
They also had the trailer for Star Wars. To me, the hype is just beyond real.
Yeah.
This movie cannot get here any quicker.
Especially the short dialogue that Luke has is like, oh, well, you have a gift. Your mother had it. I have it. And, like, just going through the whole family
The fact
members.
that he was like, my father had it. I have it.
It's like,
my sister has it. I was like, he's like, you have that power too.
Yeah.
Okay, I know I'm geeking out still, and I know I gotta keep going.
Yeah.
But just the sheer fact that, the opening shot was just a speeder going through the desert, and there's a
downed Star Destroyer.
There's a down X-wing, and then in the background you're like, what is that? It's a freaking Star Destroyer.
Like, all I thought of was Starkiller. When he brought down the Star Destroyer.
That was cool. I remember that.
I hated that though. Oh my god, that was such a pain in the ass level.
Oh yeah. In fact, he's like powerful and just taking it down.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah,
we're still geeking out.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about this for hours. So.
We could talk about. I could talk about Star Wars for hours.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Deadpool is gonna be a movie, and it's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be like everything that Marvel wishes they could be, just lumped into like 1 2-hour movie.
This is like if Marvel decided, you know what? Let's go ahead with the X-rated humor.
Exactly.
This is gonna be so cool.
Yeah.
Literally, the trailer just made me want to this is gonna be such a fucking amazing movie.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten an official release trailer, but we had the.
I mean, technically we did. It was leaked, but yeah, it's. I mean, technically it was officially released at Comic-Con.
People are still talking about that.
Oh yeah, I know.
Shocker! People bring their phones in with them, and they record it.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm sorry. I just think that's the thought process behind it. Like, oh my gosh, people are just so outraged at the fact that they put out these bootleg trailers. Well, then stop keeping it from the fans.
Yeah.
When you release the trailer worldwide.
I mean, obviously Comic-Con used to be kind of more locked down because nobody had cell phones in
But they don't have the security power for that.
Right. Yeah.
So
I'm saying like in the 90s or whenever, nobody had a video phone or anything that had a camera or whatever.
And yeah. I mean, security can't just come in and be like, give me your phone.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
I need their phone in case of emergencies.
Yeah.
You literally can't take my phone away from me.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Deadpool, I think it looks cool.
In case Jack Black comes over the Stormtrooper helmet, tries to beat the shit out of you.
Coming on, yeah!
I still love that fact that he went in to buy some shit. He had to hide himself behind a Stormtrooper helmet. And everybody was trying to find out who he is. And it's just
Jack Black, is that you in there?
I wish I could have been there for that. That would have been great.
Is that Jack Black in there?
No.
No.
That's not my wallet.
That's not my wallet. Okay. Deadpool looks cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Suicide Squad.
I mean, it's still obviously everybody has the gripes about the Joker and all that, but I feel like it's going to be a really solid release movie.
I think it has potential.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it's not all hype.
I'm a little scared because, like they said, they showed. They had all the different images of the team together.
Yeah.
And they had the team coming together. But then they also had a bunch of different images of, like, how people got their powers and stuff, or why they're in prison. I just hope that doesn't take up a majority of the movie.
Yeah.
Or we're in the movie and we're learning. I don't want to be learning about the characters and then have to cut from a scene. I want to stay in the scene that I'm in, and I want to continue on with the story.
Maybe if they do, like, short flashbacks to something or whatever, that would be fine. But
it's just, like, for me, Man of Steel, the thing that really bothered me was when he was in a scene and then they flash back to when he was a kid.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That bothered me.
Yeah, that wasn't necessary at all.
That really bothered me.
Yeah.
I mean, and for me personally, I think they showed way too much of Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, guess what, guys? This is Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad. Guess what? Joker's in here too.
Sounds like Josie and the Pussycats now.
Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad. Oh man. Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it's funny. We grew up with those cartoons, and they're not even, like, from the 90s. They're just, like, old.
I had what was it, Monday? I was playing Backstreet Boys.
Nice.
And the girl up front came back and she saw me dancing to it. I was kind of, like, grooving to it.
Yeah.
And she went, "Who's this?"
Oh, no.
The next words that came out of my mouth were like, "Get the fuck out." I literally said, "Get out." And I meant it.
Yeah.
She's like, "Why? Why are you so mad?" I'm like, you can't be this young and then not know who the freaking Backstreet Boys are.
Yeah.
Backstreet's back, alright?
That's disappointing.
Okay, Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Looks cool, has potential. The main one I wanted to get to. Batman v Superman.
Right.
Dawn of Justice.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, there's that small percentage of my mind that can't separate Ben Affleck from Daredevil. But I gotta give him credit. He's a good actor. And just from all the concepts and everything that they've released so far, it looks good. I mean, obviously, Superman's always going to be Superman. He's just, that guy.
What do you think about Lex Luthor? Everyone's kind of, like, still on the fence.
Oh, the whole Mark Zuckerberg bullshit and all that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they kind of did it right.
I think he actually seems pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
There was that one shot where he's like touching Superman's face. Like Superman's not a god to him.
Touch my body.
Make it moist.
Oh God, no.
Yep, you want to go there? I went there.
Trying to make a song reference, he kills me.
The fact that I mean, I don't know why people are still on the fence. The fact that he was just standing there, and the fact that Lex Luthor still has this power over Superman.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm a little on board. I want to hear a little bit more dialogue and see him with the bald head.
I really hate the fact that I just keep thinking of this, but I've always wanted to see in like the movies, just any villain taking a hunk of kryptonite and just tossing it at Superman while he's flying around. It just falls like a stone.
Can you imagine Doomsday, which I think they're trying to lead up to, is Doomsday?
Yeah.
Can you imagine Doomsday just picking it up and just being like, oh God! I loved the final shot when Superman comes up to the Batmobile.
Oh yeah.
Rips off the doors. And like he's just trying to stand there like he's a fucking boss. And then Batman's just like, okay, here I come. The fact that he just gets up and he just stands there like, okay, go ahead, hit me.
It's like, really?
I want to do this now? If I was Batman, I love the fact that he just stood up next to him. He's like, I'm not scared of you.
I know.
If I was Batman, I would have got up and I would have been like, pay me for the fucking doors. You just wrecked my Batmobile. Aren't you a billionaire?
Don't care.
Don't care.
'Cause I'm Batman.
'Cause I'm Batman! Everyone's like, who do you think is going to win? That was the best part. Mike at work is asking me, who do you think is going to win in that fight? I'm like, Batman. And then his next question, the stupidest thing he could have asked.
Oh no.
Well, why? I just stood there and I looked at him, and he's like, why? I was like, because I'm Batman. He's like, okay, good enough reason. Nobody can ever argue that point.
I know.
You can't beat it. You can't win. You can't beat him because he's Batman. Any argument, he wins because he's Batman.
Exactly.
He's Batman. I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
I mean, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, Man of Steel wasn't that great," but I still like DC. They're doing well. It's not as great.
DC's gonna be. I'm sorry. We're gonna convert to this.
Yeah.
DC's really gonna have a hard time now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with
After
that.
Ant-Man, I think DC has a really hard time.
Yeah, Ant-Man just kind of ran train.
Okay.
Literal train.
Literal. Switching that over.
Yeah.
We went and saw Ant-Man on Saturday.
Yep.
And this is our review on it.
Yeah. So how in depth do you want to get to this? Because it was just released like.
It was just
5 days ago, maybe.
Full spoilers. I'm going there.
Okay.
Full spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Ant-Man. If you don't want it spoiled for you, stop the video here.
And we'll have another probably timestamp that'll
Yes.
Go through it in next.
Stop the video here. Don't watch it because full on spoilers.
Yeah.
Full on. I'll let you start because I know I'm gonna have like this whole spiel.
Yeah. I guess my whole thing that I didn't understand at first, from the trailer, I thought that Hank Pym would be like, oh, I need a replacement. Shit, let me find somebody. And then he builds a new suit for Ant-Man. And he's like, oh, well, here, try this on, see how you like it. You know, you might be my replacement, that kind of deal. And I thought it was more of like the company, building up the suit and, recruiting him and all that. And it was so misleading, and I'm so happy that it was, because it was more like, Scott Lang is like a master cat burglar, I think it was.
Yes, he is a master. He's a master thief, but he technically calls himself a cat burglar.
Yeah.
So in the beginning of the movie, he's getting out of jail
Right.
because he released a bunch of information about people and took all their money away and everything.
Yeah.
So he always considers himself not to be a robber, but he's a burglar. He burgled
He's
them.
kind of like Robin Hood.
Yeah, he basically like Robin Hood. He didn't steal anything, and he didn't give it to the poor or anything. He just burgled them.
Yeah.
And just let them know what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they thought they were doing something wrong.
And of course, Hank Pym, oh, I find out everything. Okay. So,
I mean, he only has ants and everything.
This is so cool.
I mean, Hank Pym controls ants.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's start this off because it had the flashback at the beginning there,
right,
with the Triskelion, which is now destroyed.
Yeah.
But it was a flashback to when it was being built back in the 80s. Hank Pym was young.
Yeah.
So we see Hank Pym, and he's creating the Pym technology.
Yeah.
The Pym particle.
Right.
Which causes him to shrink. So he's been Ant-Man before.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really cool concept.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The fact that Ant-Man has existed for a while.
And then they show like the footage of supposed Ant-Man sightings and
supposed Ant-Man, and he's just running through a field with like just destroying everybody.
Yeah.
The fact that everyone's losing to this guy right now.
They're just flipping for no apparent reason.
Like the camera's just like these guys just.
It's kind of like Kung Fury when he just kind of stands there and they start flopping over. Yeah.
But yeah, then it cuts to him going to Pym Technologies.
Yes.
And his successor is trying to recreate his technology.
Yeah.
Because Hank obviously lied to everybody for a good reason.
Yeah.
Because Hank didn't want his technology. And I loved the fact that stuck true to the comics, because Hank always thought his creation as like too dangerous for everybody.
Yeah.
He's like, none of you can handle this, and I don't want my technology out there. Which is cool. And at the same time, I love the opening scene when he like slammed that guy's head into the desk. It kind of showed the insanity of Hank Pym.
Yeah.
A little, and I love that. He had those moments in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get that into a little bit later, but first of all, my overall thoughts. I love this movie.
Yeah, I definitely agree with it.
It is a great movie.
Yeah.
I will even go as to say it was better than Avengers 2.
Oh yeah, no question.
This movie, I know fanboys are gonna be like, Avengers, no. This was better than Avengers 2.
Yeah, because we've talked about it before. Avengers 2 seemed kind of like there was no backstory to anything. It was like, why is Tony Stark Iron Man again? Why is all this stuff happening? And they're like, oh, it's just happening.
It's just happening. There was so much, but there wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I love this movie for what it was, and it just proved that Marvel is just gonna kill it again.
Yeah.
I am so on board for Phase 3.
Oh, definitely.
They're just destroying it.
Yeah.
They're killing it with like everything, even though the controversy over this script and everything, over the director.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I could have seen Edgar Wright's rendition of Ant-Man.
Yeah.
But I'm perfectly happy with Peyton Reed. He did an amazing job.
Oh, yeah.
I know people are still like, well, everybody has mixed reviews about it. I'm just going to go out and say it's got an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, which means it is good.
Yeah.
Like, anything above an 80% in my book is good.
Yeah.
Avengers only had 72.
Really?
I think it was actually might have been lower than that.
Wow.
Avengers 2, sorry, I'll get to that later, because I have a pitch for you.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I have a pitch for everybody out there. I have a pitch. But we got to continue the movie.
Yeah.
So then Hank Pym gets out, and he obviously can't see his daughter because his ex-wife doesn't want him to see.
Not Hank Pym. Scott Lang.
Scott Lang. Well, sorry. Scott Lang gets out of prison.
Yeah.
And he wants to see his kid, so he really wants to get that money for the kid.
Yeah.
Because he needs money to pay his ex-wife and alimony and all that stuff, and child support and baby mama drama, which we don't need in this movie. And what was it? The new stepdad is like a cop.
Yeah.
The new stepdad's a cop, and he's kind of a dick.
Yeah. More or less.
More or less, he's a dick. So he is led back into doing criminal activity, and he said, "Okay, well, we need you to go in and just break into this vault."
And obviously, they think it's like because it's so secure. It's like, oh, there's gonna be gold bars, jewels, diamonds, whatever.
But when he gets into when he breaks into the vault, which was cool, by the way.
Oh yeah.
When he got in there, he's like, this metal is the same type of metal they used to use on the Titanic.
Yeah.
I was like, that is fucking cool.
Yeah.
They made a Titanic reference, and then he froze it.
Yeah.
Just destroying the drawer.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I love the fact that this superhero has a master's in electric engineering.
Yeah, that really built it up.
The fact that this superhero has a master's in electrical engineering.
Yeah.
It adds more of a human element to this.
Yeah,
character.
and especially, you think, okay, he should probably know this stuff. They're not just like Marvel being Marvel. He thinks 10 steps ahead. Oh, if I do this, this will happen. And it's just awesome.
So when he breaks into the place, and he's super smart.
Yeah.
He's smart. He breaks in, and all he finds is
basically what he thinks is a motorcycle suit.
What he thinks is a motorcycle. But I want to point out, on the shelf to the side when he first looks in, is a bunch of beakers and everything.
Right, with the PEM particle.
With red and blue.
Yeah.
So the red, obviously, in this movie is for shrinking.
Yes.
Blue is obviously for growing.
Right.
So there was also some reference to Giant Man in there.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
we'll get to Giant Man, because he actually is going to be making an appearance in Civil War.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
Scott Lang is going to be Giant Man at some point.
Oh, nice.
Which I'm happy about.
Yeah.
Geez, okay. No, I know. We gotta do this because it's getting to that time.
Yeah.
So then he takes it and he's wondering about it, and when he takes it out, he shrinks.
Yeah.
And then it has that whole sequence within his apartment building.
Yeah.
And then comes out and gets freaked out and goes to bring his suit back.
Right.
And then gets arrested by the cops again.
Which is should we mention who calls and all that stuff, or
we're getting to her because
yeah.
everyone knows that Hope Van Dyne, Hank Pym's daughter, is in the movie.
Yeah.
So she called the cops. Well, obviously she called the cops on her. And
I love how she's so nonchalant about it. It's like, oh yeah, I called him.
Yeah, he's like, I called the cops on you. But we're getting to that.
Yeah.
Hank Pym gives him the suit back in prison, and he escapes prison.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that the cops were like out of the period of time from this movie. Yeah. They didn't exist. Yeah. It's like nobody cared that Scott Lang would like escape prison. Yeah. They had like one scene where they mentioned it, and then that's it.
Right.
So then he wakes. So then he escapes. He loses his mind on the ant when he was flying Antony.
Oh God, Antony! Don't.
That's what he named it.
I know, but the ending.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we're getting to that. He gets on an ant. He loses consciousness. He wakes up.
Yeah.
Hank Pym brings him into the lab, and he's like, I need you to do this for me. I need you to become the new Ant-Man. Yeah. He's like, his whole thing is like, I'm done with this shit. It's done and over. I'm done breaking in and stealing shit. And I love the fact that he's like, what do you need me to do? He's like, I need you to break in and steal some shit.
Yeah, I know.
I love that Hank Pym. I love that they use that word shit in there.
I know.
I need you to break in and steal some shit.
That was one of the best quotes. That was great.
Yeah. And obviously his daughter is just upset because she thought this whole time that she can do it. She can be the Ant-Man. Yeah. Because the whole point is they didn't want to stop this guy from getting the technology to be able to shrink things, because he said you're just going to create chaos. Yeah. It's not going to be a good thing. So just stop. But no, he needs Scott Lang because he doesn't want to have that emotional attachment of losing his daughter.
And she doesn't realize that.
She doesn't realize that only until, I mean, obviously there's a training montage.
Especially, it really ties everything together when he says, "Oh, I'm expendable. You're not."
You're not.
It's like wow. This guy is pretty badass.
Like, the fact that Scott Lang even saw that as himself, he's like, listen, your dad doesn't want you to do this because I'm expendable, you're not. Yeah. The fact that he even realizes he's like, I'm expendable. Yeah. The fact that he has that thought in his head, like, I could probably die. And I might die. Yeah. Was just so cool. But there was a whole montage, training montage, him becoming the Ant-Man, like all the powers, seeing all the ants and all that stuff.
Seeing the ants was so great.
There was, we'll mention it because he did find this one flying ant, and all the ants at this point just have numbers. Yeah. But he actually takes this one flying ant and he names it Antony. Yeah. Which I love. Yeah. But then I was also kind of sad because I was thinking about our friend, and I was like, oh, Antony.
And And then when he's meeting all the different classes of ants, every time he freaks out, he explodes.
Oh yeah, when he freaks out, he just like he grows himself again. He's like ah. He's like, I'm sorry, that was a lot scarier.
It's like the Conan clip.
Oh yeah, the Conan clip. If you guys haven't seen it, Paul Rudd was on Conan and he brought a clip. It was really funny. Look it up, Paul Rudd Conan. It was hysterical.
We gotta watch that afterwards again.
So after the whole training montage, and he's like, "I'm expendable, you're not." He learns how to use the ants.
Right.
They come back inside, and then Hank Pym was telling them story about Hope's mother. Yeah. So then he's like, she wanted a suit as well, and I'm like, when I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my god, they're really doing this right now.
Yeah.
He's like, they called her the Wasp. I'm like, yes, Wasp. Wasp is in the movie.
Yeah.
The Wasp got a shout out.
I know. That was so cool.
So then the whole thing there was that the Wasp and Ant-Man were trying to stop a missile from reaching America, basically. Right. And they couldn't get through the titanium barrier. Yeah. So then she decides to go subatomic and mess with her regulator. Yeah. So she just shrinks constantly. Yeah. So she's stuck in some universe. They didn't say she died, but the assumption is that she's dead. Yeah. So she's still just shrinking in, like, forever. Yeah. Which is sad. Yeah. But I loved the fact that they referenced the Wasp.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that there was Ant-Man and the Wasp at one point. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Yeah. So then we go on and they come up with a master plan. They even get Scott's crew involved. Right. His little crew. By the way, Michael Pena killed it in this movie.
Oh yeah.
He was hysterical.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
I know.
Him telling the stories about like how he heard something.
I know.
Just the jumps and everything was awesome.
And especially how it's all his voice for the other people too.
Yes. He said and that said.
I know this guy, and he's got this really cool stuff. And it's like, oh god, they're doing it.
But we can't skip over the next part. So before they can infiltrate the Pym Technologies, he needs them to go. He needs them to go get a couple things. Right. One of them being like a disabler for like a shield or whatever. Yeah. From an old Stark warehouse. Yeah. Which he's like, I need you to go there. And he showed a picture of it. I'm like, that's not a Stark warehouse anymore. That is not. Yeah. This is a real big spoiler. Ant-Man is flying there, and he's like, I thought you said this was an old Stark warehouse. He's like, yeah. And he's like, it's not. It's the Avengers It's the Avengers place. Yeah. Or whatever. Yeah. It's Avengers facility. And he's just like, oh my god. Even Hank Pym was like, okay, you need to turn around and just leave. And the fact that he's like, no, I don't think anybody's home.
It's like, I got this, guys. Let me do this.
I got this. It looks like nobody's home. And he lands, and who comes out of nowhere? It's the freaking Falcon.
I know.
And he's like, I don't think you can see me. And the Falcon's like, I can see you. He's like, ah. And he's just raising it up. He's like, my name's Ant-Man. He's like, okay.
Or no. He goes, my name's Scott. I'm the Ant-Man.
I'm the Ant-Man. He's like, hey, I'm Scott. He's like, and I love the fact they're like, did he just say, hey, I'm Scott? Hey, I'm Scott.
I'm Ant-Man.
I'm Ant-Man. You've never heard of me?
Well, you should.
Well, you should. And then he fights Falcon.
And he wins.
He gets inside the Falcon's suit and destroys it and makes Falcon malfunction. And then I love the fact that Falcon gets up and he's like, alright, let's just make sure Cap never hears about this.
That's so great.
So then he steals that, and then they get all their stuff set up, and then they go to the place because Cross has developed a technology. He's actually managed to be able to shrink stuff. Right. So he's off. Yeah. So then they go to the final presentation, and he actually is selling it to Hydra agents. Right. Which I loved. I'm like, oh my god, Hydra's still in here somewhere.
Yeah, I know.
Hydra can never die.
I love it. What was it? They used to be bad, but they don't do that stuff anymore or something like that.
Oh yeah, they used to be bad, but they don't do that stuff anymore.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. But it's like, really? You don't think they're just sketching it up around here is like,
yeah,
no.
So then he goes in to try to steal his suit, and it turned out to be an obvious decoy.
Right.
It was
not a decoy.
Well, not a decoy, but it turned out to be a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. Admiral Akbar. God, he needs to come back. He should be back, right?
I think so.
Yeah, he should be back.
Yeah.
So then it was a trap, and Ant-Man gets stuck, and they take away the suit.
Yeah.
And Hank Pym almost died there.
Yeah.
Hank Pym almost died. So then, where am I going now? So, sorry. I know, I'm just gonna go off and off.
Yeah, that's fine.
Off and off about this. So then, Ant-Man is escaping the place.
Right.
And Hank Pym, who did get shot,
yeah,
pulls out his keys and he's like, "I need you to take this. We need to get out of here."
and he was like,
And she's like,
"It's like this isn't a keychain."
It's a keychain of a tank, and he's like, "It's not a keychain." And then out comes like a giant ass tank out of Pym Technologies.
I forget what the security officer was like. We got something.
Oh, the police officer, he's like, "We need help down here. We got people escaping and all that stuff." And then a tank comes out. He's like, "And there's a tank."
Yeah, something like that. It was so great.
But well,
like, not even skipping a beat. And there's a tank. We need that.
we need that. The fact that the tank has still the keychain attachment
Yeah,
to it.
I know,
It's this giant thing
awesome.
with a giant keychain attachment.
Yeah.
That would bend my keys. That would be awesome on my keys. Just like a giant. Oh man, no, that would bend my keys. You would break your ignition.
But you have a tank.
So Ant-Man's going to save.
Yeah.
Ant-Man's going to stop Darren Cross.
Right.
To get back the Yellow Jacket technology.
Yeah.
But then as he's running, Darren Cross for some reason has amazing shooting skills, which nobody else knew about.
Yeah.
But he's just shooting at ants. I would have been like,
Yeah.
if I was the other guy in the helicopter, I'd be like, "Are you stupid? Stop wasting ammunition. They're ants." And then there's a guy who was like, "You don't know. They're ants. They're everywhere.
It's kind of like the College Humor thing. Bats.
Bats." Sadly, we lose Antony.
Yeah.
Which was depressing. This is why parents tell you, don't give it a name.
Yeah.
Don't give the dog a name, because then he'll just get attached. And I was attached to Antony. He kept mentioning throughout the movie, he's like, "Come on, Antony, let's go."
Yeah.
And then they kill him.
Yeah.
Antony! But then...
like, that's a cool thing about, like, not really mainstream Marvel movies, I guess, like the off-branch ones or whatever. They just do kind of small things like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then, he gets the Yellow Jacket, and Yellow Jacket puts on the suit. Well, Darren Cross puts on the Yellow Jacket armor.
Yeah.
And then they fight in a briefcase.
That was awesome.
That was a cool fight.
And then I forget, like, what song it was or whatever, but, they activate Siri on an iPhone and it starts playing some song.
And it is loud. Can you imagine being Ant-Man size and just having that
geez.
song go off in there
know.
while they're fighting? And then it lands in a pool.
Yeah.
And then they both grow up everything.
Yeah.
And then this is the coolest thing to me. They're fighting, and then Darren Cross the Yellow Jacket shrinks down, and Ant-Man hits him with a pole into a bug zapper.
I know.
I was like, yes, and more yes.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was also funny.
I know.
And then he's like, "Everything's fine," and the family's of course freaked out.
I know. They'll just scatter.
They just scatter. Oh my gosh! Okay, and then obviously he doesn't die, but the police arrest him.
Yeah.
How did they manage? Like, were you really tracking
Yeah.
the Ant-Man in a briefcase? How did you manage that? Those cops are amazing.
Yeah.
If they have that kind of detection skills, they need to partner up with Batman.
Yeah, they do.
So then he gets arrested again, but then the Yellow Jacket goes to Scott's house
Yeah.
and threatens his daughter.
I mean, it's kind of like the foreshadowing thing. He says, "Turn around. I have to deal with something back at that house."
Yeah.
Or whatever it was.
Foreshadowing. And the fact that he came back and he was able to get the suit on and everything and go save his family. The whole train sequence fight was so awesome.
Actually, mentioning that, he's like trying to ram his head against the door, trying to put the helmet back on and everything. That was funny.
Yeah, when he was like trying to struggle, he's like, and he like, don't you hate it when you put on a hat and your ears flop over? Can you imagine having that helmet stuck and then his ears flop over? I saw it happen. Like he was in the movie and he's just like getting it on and I saw the ears flop over. I could not get it stuck like this because then my ears would be like, no, and you gotta get like your head in the helmet and you gotta fix your ears.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, I had one of those moments. But then the whole fight sequence with the trains and everything was just great.
Oh, that was.
Because they were throwing trains around and there was like little explosions and everything.
Yeah, I know, little lasers.
Little lasers, like they cut out at the right times. It's just like.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say this real quick.
Yeah.
The laser sound effects, did they sound familiar?
Yeah, they did.
They were Star Wars lasers blast.
Yeah.
I saw that for a second. I was like, oh. I guess Disney is really using Star Wars.
Yeah.
Disney's really crossing it over.
And then, they throw the train, and you see, like, this giant train, and then all of a sudden they pan out as this little plastic thing just, like, wobbles onto the,
windowsill?
The windowsill.
Yeah, it just, like, he throws the train and just, like... It was so funny, like, the whole fight sequence was great. Even when the train toppled over, they panned out and it just, like...
Like, the whole thing derails.
Yes,
like,
and it just falls over. You're just like, this is the greatest fight ever.
Like, you're imagining, like, this big clunk, but it's, like, this little clicking sound.
Because, like, when they cut in, everything is so epic, and you're just like, this is awesome, and they pan out, and just like...
Yeah. And then the whole thing with the growing and the shrinking discs, was awesome. They hit the Thomas the Tank Engine with a growing disc, and it just like...
It grows outside of the window, and it hits the yard, and everyone's just like...
They hit an ant, too. So it's like the size of a medium-sized dog.
Yes, there's a giant ant.
And then, actually, at the end of the movie, it becomes a pet.
Yeah, it becomes a pet.
That was great. I love how they tied that in.
I love that. But, yes, he's still fighting Yellow Jacket, and when he's trying to rip off the back, it's titanium.
Right.
Which we saw earlier in the movie. So then he had to make that tough decision. He's like, okay, I love you guys, but I gotta do this. Because his family's gonna die.
Exactly.
This guy's gonna kill this little girl and the cop.
Yeah.
So then he wrestles with his regulator and he goes subatomic.
Right.
He destroys Yellow Jacket. And Yellow Jacket just like, kind of like warps and manipulates and just like crushes.
Yeah.
And just...
Pretty much, yeah.
But... the fact that he shrunk down the subatomic size and he went into that whole universe.
Yeah.
Do you think that was also might have been a reference to Doctor Strange?
Yeah, I feel like that could be, actually.
I think he needs to be pumped up more, and the fact that they're introducing, like, another dimension.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's stopping the Doctor Strange.
They don't mention it as just, another level of existence. They say it's a full dimension, too.
Like, you'll enter another dimension, and you're just constantly shrinking.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he was so smart, and he took the growing disc, placed it into there, and I thought for sure we were going to get to see Giant Man. I'm like, this is going to be it. But no, it was just enough to grow Ant-Man.
Right.
And he managed to save his family.
Yeah.
And his friends and everybody. Everyone's happy. Everyone gets happy in the end. Hank Pym's all better and whatnot. I would give this movie a solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. 9.5, somewhere around there.
This was a great movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so final point. This is my pitch for you.
Yeah.
I've got to get all revved up for this. Give me a second.
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
Okay.
So, Avengers 2.
Right.
I figured out how to make it better.
Oh, okay.
And you're going to love this.
Yeah.
And I know how to make it better with taking Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver out.
Oh, okay. Which, I mean, they didn't really need to be in there anyway, but...
You're right, they didn't. And I know they just wanted to introduce them, and I'll get to that.
Yeah.
So, after the events of what happens in Ant-Man, because we'll also talk about the end credit scenes.
Yeah.
In the end credits, Hope Van Dyne gets the Wasp suit.
Yeah.
That was one of the scenes. The Civil War setup we'll talk about later. So, after the events of what happened in Ant-Man, here's my pitch.
Okay.
Instead of Avengers 2 coming before Ant-Man,
Yeah.
I think they should have tried to work their best job giving us this movie, but putting Ant-Man before Avengers 2. Now, here's where I'm going with this. In the beginning shot of Ant-Man, you see Hank Pym as a young adult.
Right.
He's working for S.H.I.E.L.D. And everyone wants the Pym particle. Let's go beyond the Pym particle.
Yeah.
And let's say as a young person, he also creates an artificial robot. Let's say Ultron.
Yeah.
And everything goes rogue and he has to shut it down.
Right.
So, following the events of Ant-Man, let's say the new Ant-Man, let's say Scott Lang, the new Ant-Man, at the end of that movie, wanders into his lab, and let's say Hank Pym still has it. Scott Lang accidentally restarts Ultron.
Okay, yeah.
And then cut.
Okay, yeah.
Cut to black.
Right.
Opening on Avengers 2. Because they say that obviously Ant-Man will make a comeback in Avengers.
Yeah.
Let's say Ultron, at the beginning of the Avengers movie, Ultron is now alive.
Yeah.
And nobody else knows it. But they can give more... They don't even need to introduce the villain right off the bat.
Yeah.
They can open up with the same way they did. You know, Avengers are trying to hunt down Hydra.
Yeah.
You can give more backstory to, Tony Stark. Open up, instead of like where Avengers opened up with Loki coming into the world, open up with the Avengers getting more of a backstory.
Yeah.
What are they doing as a team now?
Yeah.
And instead of introducing Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch at the beginning of this movie, they don't even need to be in there.
Yeah.
They're just simply taking down Hydra.
Yeah, because I mean, especially after Avengers 1, they just disbanded and they're doing whatever.
Exactly. So then explain why they're all back together. Yeah. Explain why Tony Stark came back as Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because he got the shrapnel removed from his heart. He no longer needs to be Iron Man.
Right.
So then come Scott Lang going to Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Come Hank Pym, because Hank Pym finds out Scott Lang accidentally reactivated Ultron.
Yeah.
Come Hank Pym to the Avengers, telling him, I need your help.
Yeah.
This is a dangerous threat, and it's going to require you guys now, because he is out of my hands. And Ant-Man says, I'm here to help as well. And also, as an introduction, you can introduce the Wasp.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of having Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch,
yeah,
you introduce the Wasp and Ant-Man.
Right.
Founding members of the Avengers.
Yeah.
Have now been introduced. And you don't have to go the extra mile and introduce mutants who can't even say that they're mutants.
Yeah.
I would rather you wait until you can work out a deal with Fox before you can say, like, oh yeah, these are mutants now. Now you're in trouble, because now you're knee deep in, because technically now she's enhanced.
And Quicksilver's dead.
Yeah. So, erase them from the movie, and now you have Ant-Man and Wasp. Founding members of the Avengers.
Yeah.
And now they are both teaming up with the Avengers to go and take down Ultron.
Yeah.
And Ultron, in the meanwhile, still creates the Vision. Vision still is a thing.
Yeah.
He creates it. Perfect.
Yeah.
So now, that's my pitch. I had just made your movie go from it was okay to being amazing.
Yeah.
Now you have freaking Captain, Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Ant-Man, and the Wasp.
Yeah.
And the Vision.
Right.
You literally have 9 heroes there. And then introduced as the new Avengers instead. introduced as the new Avengers, you can have Ant-Man in there.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp can become part of the new Avengers team.
Yeah.
That would have been just... Kevin Feige, why were you not thinking about this?
Yeah. I don't understand it either.
Now everyone's asking Evangeline Lilly in like all these interviews and everything, will we ever see the Wasp in any other movie? Nobody knows anymore because you already introduced your slate for all the Phase 3.
Right, yeah.
So that at least the Wasp couldn't be introduced till Phase 4. And that's not till like 2019 or later.
Yeah.
I literally you could have introduced a brand new character that everyone is dying for into a movie that you just were like so rushed to put out.
Yeah.
And make it shorter than the first one.
How
about no?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I still don't understand why they did that.
And then you could even go as far as to say, then you could cut Loki out of the movie because Loki wouldn't need to make a presence at that point.
Yeah.
He would no longer have to do with anything with the scepter or anything.
Yeah.
You could simply just have Hank Pym being the creator of Ultron. And Ultron, let's say in that time span back in the 80s, he had 90s, he had more of a build up. Instead of like a 5-second cut of like he's just an AI technology right now, and then in the next scene he's literally a full on robot.
Yeah.
We don't have that 5-second cut.
Yeah.
Like literally that was one of the points that really bothered me about Avengers.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
He was literally just an image. And then in the next scene with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver going to see him.
Yeah.
He's a robot.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, really.
How does my Avengers movie sound to you compared to the Avengers that we got?
A lot better. I would probably pay double for it.
And you get to see Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And the Wasp.
Yep.
And you could even have Ultron have the infatuation with the Wasp.
Yeah.
The Wasp could be a bigger character in that movie because that was Ultron's thing. Like he was attached to the Wasp.
Yeah.
He literally loved Janet Van Dyne because Hank Pym put his own like brain into Ultron.
Right.
So he had that attachment. And then game changer. Sorry, mind blown. Game changing, mind blown.
Yeah.
Ultron kills Hank Pym. And then Scott Lang takes over as the new Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Just permanently new Ant-Man. And then you can have that attachment of you can kill a character, but then it's not a superhero.
Yeah.
It was a former superhero.
Right.
Avengers, Age of Ultron.
Yeah. I mean, especially it keeps it very tied to the comics as well.
And then everyone's not upset that Tony Stark created Ultron. You can have Hank Pym being the original creator. And him having that insanity and everything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, mind blown. I already love my new Avengers movie.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I'm not even a director. I hope there are people out there that watch this and are just like, that is actually a good pitch for a movie.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen that movie over what I've got.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's my pitch. Would you pay for it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry. I get very giddy when it comes to superhero movies, and I saw how something was done wrong, and I think it could be so much better.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, guess what? I can release a director's cut. Notes out to you, Joss Whedon. No director's cut. Days of Futures Past is getting a director's cut.
Yeah.
It's not even called the director's cut. It's called the Rogue cut.
What?
The Rogue cut. Rogue the superhero.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And it's literally not even Days of Future Past. It's an alternate version of Days of Future Past.
What?
Yeah.
Huh.
Think about that. Bryan Singer made a whole other version of Days of Future Past.
Wow.
A whole nother version.
Yeah.
And yet that guy is releasing it.
Yeah.
I already have Days of Future Past on Blu-ray. I'm tempted to go buy this movie again. I would pay to see the Rogue cut.
Yeah.
I would pay to see the director's cut of Avengers Age of Ultron. With Loki.
It's not worth it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had to go on a riff there because that was my pitch for Avengers,
Mm.
and I think the way I pitched it could have been a lot better than what we got.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you could have ended the movie out on a bang.
Mm.
Set up Phase 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
Not really. I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot else other than that.
There wasn't a whole lot. It's a pretty slow week.
Yeah.
We'll have more next week.
Yep.
I hope you guys enjoyed our review. We are going to have more individual-based videos about reviews coming to you soon.
I mean, depending on what we see when we see it and all that.
Yes, depending on what we see when we see it.
Yeah.
I already saw an early review for Pixels, and people are like, the
Yeah.
Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, I don't have too many high hopes for that.
I mean, I might see it just to see it, but
Yeah, yeah.
we'll see. But I hope you guys liked the review. That was a little segment. We thought we'd tie it into the show. So I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
As for us, I guess that kind of wraps up our show this week.
Yeah, I mean, like Dan said, there's really not a whole lot else that went on, so.
I'm sorry if I talked a lot.
No, it's no big deal.
I had a lot. It was a big superhero week for me, and I didn't really get to talk about it last week.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we also had to cut everything out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess that wraps us up for this week.
Yep.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm Dan.
And I'm Scott.
And you guys were watching the Media Bros. Thank you guys, and watch the show and tune in next week.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye.